Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a little special unboxing of the Beadiful Vibes subscription box. I'm going to be sharing a couple fun things in this video, so stay tuned. And the other thing is that at the end of this video, I'm going to share a tutorial with you on what I make with what is inside this box. So it's an unboxing, a tutorial, and a couple of announcements. This is a monthly subscription box that will contain something different every month, and what I really like about it is that it's a total surprise. You don't know what's going to be in the box, and the whole idea behind it is that it is intended to spark inspiration for you as a bead artist. For me, I often get stuck in a rut of not knowing what to do, so it's very cool to have something different thrown in the mix. Maybe different kind of materials or a different kind of template to push me outside of my comfort zone and challenge me as an artist. That is always when I have my best ideas or come up with new strategies for how to make different kinds of beaded jewelry. I'm really excited to open up this box for you and also to announce two special things. The first thing is that I am actually collaborating with Rainy, the creator of Beadiful Vibes Inspo Box, and I will be putting in an exclusive template and tutorial. This will be a intermediate level tutorial, and this is exclusively available in February's subscription box. So make sure you head over and get your subscription box purchased before they run out. The second thing is that if you would like to win a subscription box, then head over to my Instagram at The Wholeness Shop to enter to win your very own subscription box. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Here we go. I love this little quote on the box that says, "Inspiration, a feeling of enthusiasm you get from someone or something which gives you new and creative ideas." Very cute. The first thing you see when you open up the box is this gorgeous exclusive template made by Rainy. And I kid you not, as soon as I saw this, I got a wave of inspiration. And then these lovely polymer clay hearts for use as centers in flat stitch projects. You also get a QR code that brings you to the Insiders Club, where in this box, I got access to a digital copy of this template, as well as another template of a beautiful buffalo by another artist. Next, I received 2 pairs of metal heart frames in gold and silver, which I'm really excited for the challenge of using these in either flat stitch or attaching fringe to. Next up, I got 3 different colors of Delica hex beads in this pretty violet wine shade, a light pink shade, and a white crystal color. And last but not least, 5 colors of custom chain banding, and these were a generous length as well. It wasn't long before I had everything unpacked and started playing around to see what I wanted to make first. I finally settled on using the clay heart centers and 2 colors of the custom chain to create these incredible heart earrings perfect for Valentine's Day. For this project, I used thin, stiff felt in white, which I cut into roughly 2 by 2 inch squares, 2 size 10 beading needles for 2 needle method flat stitching, size 11-0 Miyuki seed beads in matte black, semi-frost baby pink, and transparent luster raspberry, 2mm crystal Rondelle beads for edging, a little bit of thin scrap cardboard or cardstock for stabilizing. I'll be using 4 different types of thread for this, black and white Nymo size B, as well as Fireline in both crystal and smoky gray. For glue, I'm using Loctite gel super glue and E6000 Jewelry and Bead glue. For backing material, I'm using this pink faux leather I got from Hobby Lobby. An optional but very handy tool is a Frixion pen or other erasable pen that disappears with a little heat from a blow dryer. To start out, I'm using my Frixion pen to draw 2 lines through the center of my felt. This will help me to line up the centerpiece when gluing down. This is also really helpful to use as guidelines if you're creating a pattern. Now I'm adding the E6000 glue and using a toothpick to spread the glue evenly across the back of my heart centerpiece. Using the guidelines, I'm lining up the point of the heart and the indent at the top of the heart with the vertical line. And I smush down the heart and clean up any excess glue around the edges. Then repeat for the second heart. It's best to wait at least 20 minutes before beading to allow the glue to set. I usually like to wait until the next day. Now that the glue is set, it's time to add the first row of banding. Place the banding around the heart and measure 1 gem longer than the side of the heart, so it overlaps the guideline. Then using scissors or flush cutters, cut in between the gems at the desired length. I cut a second length of banding that was 1 gem shorter than the first. Double check the lengths are correct by wrapping around the heart and adjusting the spacing of the gems where needed. For my project, I made the gems close together but with a slight gap in between. Next, I thread my needle with an arm span length of crystal Fireline. Then tied a quilter's knot, joining both ends together by placing the needle on top of the thread, looping the thread around the needle a few times, then pulling the needle through while holding tight to the loops. Then trim the excess. This creates the perfect knot at the end of your threads. Once my banding is in place, I poke my needle up through my felt on one side of the banding and pull through. Then I pass my needle back down through the felt on the other side of the banding. This is called tacking down. I tack again between the last two gems at the end of the banding, ensuring the last gem overhangs the tip of the heart. Then another tack on the shoulder of the heart to keep the banding from moving about while I tack down the rest. Then I tack down in between every gem. Now I do the same thing on the other side of the heart, positioning my banding in place at the top. Notice how the first gem of the last bead takes the center position at the top of the heart. Another tack at the bottom where the gems meet at a point. Another at the shoulder before tacking down between all the gems. Then I tie off and weave the needle through a bit of felt before cutting off the tail. To secure the endings of my banding, I use a dot of Loctite super glue, and with the tip of a toothpick, I pick up a small amount of glue and tuck it under the gems on each end, wiping off any excess. This glue will dry quite quickly. Next, I'll be working with 2 lengths of black Nymo thread for some double needle stitching. I always wax and stretch my thread to prepare it. Then I make a knot using the same quilter's knot technique, but only on one end of my thread. This is different to before, where I knotted both thread ends together. Prep both needles this way. Now I poke needle number 1 up through one side of the heart. I like to use my guidelines for this. Then thread through so the knot meets the felt. Then I load up the needle with matte black beads. Using my thumb, I push 4 beads up to the start of the thread, ensuring there's a little wiggle room for the first bead. Then using needle number 2, I poke my needle up through the felt on one side in between the first 2 beads and pull through. Next, I poke my needle back down through the felt on the other side of the beads, in between the same first 2 beads as before, and pull through, creating gentle tension rather than pulling tight. This is again what we call tacking. I continue tacking and adding beads, making sure I tack every 2 beads, and in between every bead at the point at the top and the bottom of the heart. Once I make it all the way around the heart, I ensure I have the right number of beads to squeeze into the leftover space without overcrowding. Then I pick up needle number 1 again and thread through the beads, starting with the very first bead I added. Pull through and tack down the last newly added beads. Next, I continue threading through all my beads around the heart using needle number 1 until I return back to the point of the heart where I pass my needle down through the felt in between the beads. This adds stability to the beads. Then I tie off, weave through the felt, and cut off the tail. For the next row of banding, I keep it all one length, again lining it up to measure the length and cutting in between the gems. I prep my needle again with an arm span length of smoky gray Fireline with joined ends. Position the banding, then start tacking the top point of the heart, tacking both sides of the gem that sits in the middle of the guideline. Then I tack down the ends and add glue to create the bottom point. Then I tack down the shoulders before going through and tacking between every gem on the banding. I tie off and cut off the tail. It's coming along nicely so far. Next, I prep 2 needles with size B Nymo thread in white, wax the thread, and tie a knot on one end. Now I'm adding on my baby pink seed beads using the same double needle and tacking method as before, threading through all the beads a second time with needle 1 to stabilize before threading through to the back and tying off both threads. The next thing I do is cut around the beading, ensuring I have at least 6 millimeters of felt around the edge. You want to be very careful not to cut through any of the threads on the back of your work. I also did a quick once over with the hair dryer to make those pesky little pen lines disappear, and gave the beads a little brushing with a toothbrush to get rid of any residual wax or fibers. Now I grab my thin scrap cardboard or cardstock. I'm just using an old Christmas card. Then I trace around the shape of the beadwork. I draw another line about 5 millimeters smaller and cut it out along this new line. Sometimes I like to add a few words or an affirmation. This one says, "You are love." Then I smear some E6000 glue and stick it to the back of my beadwork, letting it dry for at least 20 minutes before continuing. After it's rested a while, I add more E6000 to the other side of the card and stick it to my selected backing material. Then I roughly cut it out and let it dry a while. Once dried a bit, I used my fabric scissors to cut a nice clean line matching the fabric with the edge of the felt. Now it should look something like this. Last needle prep for this project, I grabbed an arm span length of smoky gray Fireline and secured the ends in a knot. Now to add the edging, I'm passing my needle up through the felt from between the backing material and my beadwork. Pull through, then hide the knot inside. Next, I grabbed 3 beads, 1 raspberry seed bead, 1 rondelle bead, and another seed bead. Then I positioned my needle about 6 millimeters to the left and passed my needle through all the layers, then pull through. Then I turn my work so the beads are facing me and pass my needle up through the last bead and pull tight. Now I pick up just 1 seed bead, pass the needle from back to front just to the right of the last bead and pull through. Then I pass my needle back up through the single bead and pull tight. Next, I pick up a silver thread guard, thread through one side and move the guard to my work. Then I pick up 6 seed beads and thread down through the other side of the guard. Then I pick up 1 seed bead, pass from back to front in line with the right side of the guard, then up through the bead, pulling tight to secure, ensuring the guard is very snug. Pick up another bead, pass from back to front just next to the last bead, pull through and up through the new bead. From here on out, I'll just pick up 1 rondelle bead and 1 seed bead, passing from back to front about 6 millimeters away and then up through the seed bead and repeat along the length of the heart. When I get to the bottom point of the heart, I pass my needle through the same hole as the last thread and let the rondelle bead sit atop the point. I continue adding my edging until the end. From here, I'll pick up just 1 rondelle bead, pass through the first seed bead, then pass the needle from front to back in line with the first thread, lining up evenly between the 2 other threads. Then back up through the very first seed bead, pulling tight to align the bead properly. From here, I'll pass my needle back through the rondelle bead on the left, down through the next seed bead, then add a knot by passing under the thread, pulling through the loop, then hiding my thread by passing underneath my beadwork until the needle pops up, cutting off the tail and thread burning the ends to hide. I added on silver-plated kidney wire findings, and now these lovely earrings are ready for a new home just in time for Valentine's Day. Be sure to head over to the Beadiful Vibes website to opt in to this awesome subscription box.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing tutorial announcement video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, comment below if you have any requests, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy beading!